Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and today I'm filming a video in my bedroom rather than the kitchen where I usually film, because I have 3 screens in front of me as part of my computer setup, and on one of the screens I have a checklist for talking points for this video. And in this video I'm going to be telling you how you can choose your A-level subjects, because the process is made out to be more complicated than it actually is, because people tell you you can't study this, you have to study this and that, but really you don't really have to, and you can kind of choose what you want to, but I say kind of because there are some restrictions, but less than you may think. I'm going to cut the crap and jump straight into it, and the first point I'm going to say is decide what you want to do after college or sixth form, whether that is an apprenticeship, you want to just go into a full-time job, or you want to go to university. And I know you're going to be in the summer of year 11 when you're watching this, or even when it releases, but therefore you might be thinking, that's still 2 years away, I'm not sure what I want to do. This is why I say it doesn't really matter what you study, because at university, let's say you want to go to university, you'll usually start a subject from fresh, unless your subject wants something specific. For example, in economics, a lot of universities will want maths as an A-level, or even an A in GCSE, on the basis that you have the mathematical skills. But as I said before, you don't really need to know maths as such, or even do economics to do economics at university. That's just an example, but I'm going to say, if you do want to go into university, look at the courses that you do want to do and look at their entry requirements. For me, I have a firm offer at the University of Nottingham, and the course that I want to do is N200 Management, which doesn't have any course specific requirements. So with me, I am doing 2 A-levels right now and 1 A-level equivalent. It's a diploma, but it's not a BTEC or anything like that. It's its own level 3 qualification called IFS Diploma by the London Institute of Banking and Finance. This qualification, again, you wouldn't think that it could get me into university, and you might think, oh, to go into a good Russell Group university I need to study these really good subjects such as like physics, maths, English and whatnot. And whilst they do look good when you apply, they aren't necessary, because the other 2 A-levels I do are business. Obviously business is important because I'm applying for a business degree essentially, and media studies, which a lot of people tell you to not to do because apparently it's soft, it's a Mickey Mouse subject, universities won't like it. But bear in mind, I'm doing 2 A-levels. I'm not even doing 3 A-levels. I'm doing 2 A-levels and a diploma, and yet even on those 2 A-levels, one of them is considered soft and the other one isn't exactly considered facilitating either, and yet I still have an offer. In fact, that offer is even a lowered offer. So does it really matter as such what you want to study at university, like what you are studying at A-level or even IB, the dreaded IB? I'll get into that after. No, but there is a but. For universities such as Oxbridge, LSE, Imperial, this is where you will want to have a strong A-level profile, because they do also look at your GCSEs, and of course they are extremely competitive, more competitive than Russell Groups, and therefore you do want to stand out, and that is why you will want to do subjects such as English, maths rather than media studies. I've mentioned facilitating subjects a lot, and this is my 3rd point. Try to have at least 1, so whether it's English, maths, there's a group of facilitating subjects on the Russell Group university website. I may link that in the description if I remember, but you don't need to have it as such for Russell Groups. I don't believe you do, at least for a lot of courses. Some other courses, like for example politics, English, whatnot, you may need to. However, as I've proven to you, I have an offer from the University of Nottingham, only 2 A-levels, one of them's soft apparently, and yeah, I still have an offer. But as I said, it doesn't hurt to have a facilitating subject, and if you want the challenge, because usually facilitating subjects are harder as well, they require more academic skill, then go for it. Because let's say university wasn't for you and you needed your A-levels to fall back on, having stronger A-levels may look more impressive to, let's say, an apprenticeship. Like if you're looking for one, then you can go to a company and be like, oh, I have A-levels in these subjects, and it may look more impressive than having media studies, PE, things like that. It's not always about what looks good when you pick a subject, because as I said before, yes, English and maths look good, but then if I did them, I would get terrible grades, and I mean terrible, because I'm not really good at those. That is why, and at the end of the day, it kind of matters about getting the good grades rather than being like, oh, I did these really good subjects but I only got C's in them. A university will care more, like they'll be more likely to care if you got A's in like media and whatnot than a C in English and maths. Where therefore a combination, like a mix, is good. So then, for example, you can get ABB, which I think is what most people end up getting anyways, roughly around there. Let's say you got an A in media, a B in a business, and a B in English. That looks good. Then, for example, getting BBC in English, physics and maths. But only should you not pick something that you will struggle with. You shouldn't pick something that you absolutely hate. I mean, I dislike media because it's quite long. I mean, it's kind of easy, kind of. The exam is quite tough, but then the coursework was quite easy. It is also very like tedious. Like the coursework took a lot of work, whilst easy, as I said before, still a lot of work, and then it just got really repetitive to me, and I started to dislike the subject as time went on. But at least I don't despise it. It's something I can deal with, that is why I continue with it. Whereas with RS, for example, I was struggling with it, I hated it, and therefore I decided to drop it only a few months ago actually. Do you need to do an AS? No, I would say no. Reason I say that is because when I told universities, basically when I applied for UCAS, I forgot to put on my AS grade, and then later I told the university that I applied to that I forgot, and what I got a D in media AS. I didn't do any work for that, but I'm doing much better this year, and I'm doing the reset as well. They didn't really seem to get those. They basically, both my firm and insurance actually told me that they don't take AS grades into consideration, and it's more about what you get at A2. But obviously, again, it doesn't hurt to do an AS, so the more you have, the stronger profile you can have. But at the same time, it won't be a deciding factor. So it's up to you whether you want to focus on just 3 A2s or you want to do 3 A2s and 1 AS. If you don't do an AS subject as such, you may be offered the EPQ, which is an AS equivalent. It can boost UCAS points, which is good if you're going for a university which goes on UCAS points. For example, Nottingham Trent's a really popular one, and that's my insurance. So UCAS points can help if you're doing, for example, EPQ. Sometimes the EPQ can even lower your offer. For example, let's say, I think of Southampton, if they have an offer for AAB and you have an A in EPQ, your offer can go back down to ABB, which is good. But again, with Nottingham, I didn't do the EPQ, but my offer still went down by 1 anyways. And some universities, I'm pretty sure Nottingham even, outright just don't accept the EPQ. I would recommend doing the IFS certificate, so not diploma, I'm doing 2-year program. There's something called the IFS certificate, which is the 1-year program, the AS equivalent. I'd recommend doing that over the EPQ because I feel the certificate is quite easy. The only reason I got a B is because I didn't do any work for it, and I played Pokemon every single lesson. This is a fact. Every single lesson, instead of listening to the teacher, I'd open up Pokemon on the computer and played it. I didn't listen to any of the content. I just walked into exam blind. I still managed to get a B. So imagine if I did actually put in the work for that certificate, I could have got an A on an A star. Considering a B as if I wouldn't even taught the subject is quite good. But I would recommend doing an IFS certificate instead of the EPQ. So what are my final thoughts on choosing your subjects? Choose something you'll enjoy. Try to have at least one facilitating subject, although it's not necessary. Choose your subjects around what course you want to do or what you want to do, even if it's not university. And if you are unsure of what you want to do, try and keep your subjects broad. So for example, don't just do 3 science subjects and think, I don't want to do anything in science. That is why with me, I did media and business, because business, obviously there's management side, and then if I didn't want to do business, then I can go and do media studies, and then later obviously go into journalism, things like that. If you are still struggling with what you want to do, even subject wise, because 3 is too narrow, that's when you may want to consider IB, the International Baccalaureate. A lot of people haven't heard of it. It's a international qualification. You do 6 subjects. You have to pick like maths, English, a additional language that isn't English, humanities, and there's 2 others I can't remember, but you do 6 subjects rather than 3. You do an extended essay and a talk. It's based on points. The maximum amount of points you can get is 45. The minimum you have to get to pass is 24. And because you do more subjects, it may leave you more freedom in what you want to study at university, because you have more breadth. But at the same time, the IB is more academically challenging, and if you know what you want to do at university, then there is literally no point of doing IB at all, because at the end of the day, the A-level student doing 3 A-levels will get into the same university and the same course as that IB student who did 6 subjects in EE and TOC. But that is it for the video. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to leave a like, comment below and subscribe. Follow me on social media, that's @MahelX on Twitter and @MahelKhan on Instagram. Those links will be in the description below. Let me know what you want to see next, and this has been Mahel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!